Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinics, with physicians, physical therapists, and trainers who treat sports and performance-related injuries, with locations across the valley. More information on services and locations at stalphonsus.org/stayactive.
In 1995, the federal government reintroduced wolves to the West. For the 30th anniversary, I embarked on a 1,000-mile journey through wolf country. I talked to the people who brought wolves back, ranchers who fought the controversial program, and experts who say wolves are in trouble again. I'm Heath Drusen, and I hope you'll listen to Howl from Boise State Public Radio and the Idaho Capital Sun. Find it everywhere you get podcasts.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. We've got a good many stories to share with you on this day. Here we go. On Wednesday, Brian Kohberger pleaded guilty to killing 4 University of Idaho students. The deal means he will spend the rest of his life in prison without possibility of parole. Julie Lucatau was at the courthouse.
For each charge listed by Ada County Judge Stephen Hippler, 1 count burglary and 4 counts first-degree homicide, the defendant admitted guilt.
How do you plead, Mr. Kohberger, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
At the hearing, Ada County Prosecutor Bill Thompson went over the events of that night.
Entered the residence at 1122 King Road
in November 2022, Kohberger, a criminology graduate student at Washington State University, drove to Moscow and entered the off-campus house where the 4 victims were spending the night.
And that he then killed intentionally, willfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice forethought, Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and Santa Cruz.
Last year, a judge ruled Kohberger could face the death penalty. This guilty plea ensures he will not be executed. Several dozens of media outlets, vloggers, and reporters from across the country packed the front of the courthouse. Steve Gonsalves, Kaylee's father, expressed anger that prosecutors did not discuss the plea with the families of the victims, who found out about it over the weekend. On the sidewalk, he was swarmed by journalists.
You don't think 4 life sentences is justice?
No, of course not. It's daycare.
After the hearing, attorney for Madison Mogan's family, Leander James, read a statement on their behalf, saying the guilty verdict gave them closure.
While we know there are some who do not support it, we ask that they respect our belief that this is the best outcome possible for the victims, their families, and the state of Idaho.
A sentencing hearing is scheduled for July 23rd. Julie Lucatau, Boise State Public Radio News.
Now some big news concerning the College of Western Idaho. Idaho Ed News is reporting that CWI is considering an acquisition of the Ford Idaho Center in Nampa. The proposed deal is unique. The city of Nampa would transfer the center and land to CWI in a no-cash deal. What that means is that CWI would be responsible for running and maintaining the Ford Idaho Center, but would collect revenue from events. Idaho Ed News says the City of Nampa City Council could take up the deal in mid-August, and it would require then approval from the CWI Board of Trustees. Before that, a town hall on the proposal set for July 15th at the Ford Idaho Center. Laws could vary state to state regarding which babies born on U.S. soil can qualify for citizenship. As the Mountain West News Bureau's Hannah Merzbach reports, this comes after a recent Supreme Court decision reduced judicial powers.
In the past decade, federal district judges have increasingly blocked executive orders nationwide, including one from President Trump getting rid of citizenship rights for newborns whose parents entered the country illegally. Now, the Supreme Court ruled those judges went too far, maybe meaning
only the states who are suing
including Colorado, would have the benefit of the injunction.
On Colorado Public Radio, the state's Attorney General Phil Weiser said he joined Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, and 18 other states to block Trump's order. But Idaho, Montana, Utah, and Wyoming support it, so the order could go into effect there later this month. Weiser plans to argue in court to prevent this patchwork system.
It would be a recipe for chaos to have Colorado be covered by this injunction, but not Wyoming. If someone's born in Colorado but lives in Wyoming, are they a birthright citizenship or not?
The case will continue to play out in lower courts. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Hannah Mersbach.
The 4th of July is tomorrow. Officials want to make sure all of us stay safe during the festivities. Jamie Geary reports.
Boise Police Chief Matthew Clifford says the 4th of July is among the busiest days of the year for first responders. Firework and alcohol consumption-related accidents add on to an already high volume of summer emergencies.
We get inundated with lots of different types of calls in the dispatch center, and fireworks calls will come in at a big rate. So text those in if you can. And please remember that our dispatchers are prioritizing emergencies.
Mark Niemeyer, Boise Fire Chief, says wildfires are in greatest danger of starting near wildland-urban interfaces. These are areas between undeveloped and developed urban land that could ignite with just a gust of wind from a fire in the foothills. That's why Ada County is banning use of all fireworks in about 800 square miles of unincorporated land outside city limits this year, which will affect about 63,000 residents.
The reality is we are putting communities, especially with this heat and with wildfire being such an issue, following California, Hawaii, and other places. I don't think sometimes what people understand is that could happen here if we get the right wind-driven event.
Boise Fire Captain Roy Beam says it's best to deal with spent fireworks by dunking them in water for 2 minutes, then disposing of them in an airtight plastic bag. Jamie Geary, Boise State Public Radio News.
And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. To stay in touch with the news, check out boisestatepublicradio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. And thanks for listening.